boom, 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 boom. We are live. It is Chris Igo Home Group, powered by Remax Direct, and it is March the 17th, the day I set aside, the day when every Irish heart is busted out with pride. It is St. Paddy's Day, and I wanted to make a quick video here to just kind of touch back basing with everybody here who watches me or follows me in the Facebook group and on YouTube. Obviously, a lot's changed in the last week and continues to change every day. It's a very fluid situation, and nobody knows what's going on with the coronavirus, or we do know what's going on with the coronavirus, but we don't know the extent, the severity, et cetera, et cetera. And I do not claim to be an expert on any of this stuff. I'm not. But what I do want to share is, I mean, look, I've never been in a pandemic before. I've never been in this. Neither has anybody else that I'm aware of. Nobody's been in this particular situation before. However, I have been in a situation that's similar to it, and I wanted to share my story with you guys because I think it is critical. The mindset that I'm going to share with you here, I think, will be 100% helpful to you in terms of steeling yourself for success as we move forward, right? And so what am I talking about? Well, I believe in controlling the controllables. There's a lot of uncertainty out there in the market, but there's a lot of things that we can control on a day-to-day basis. So let me just tell you my story. So I was a stockbroker for 18 years prior to getting into the real estate business. And what's up, William, Rich, Matt, Tori, Chuck? We got a house full of people up in this piece, which is awesome. What's up, Mike? What's up, Nick? What's up, Julie? ISA Medina, the funky Cole Medina in the house. Thank you all for watching. I'm also streaming live on YouTube. So if you would hit the bell, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and let's blow up that platform too. Nonetheless, all right, so I was a stockbroker for 18 years, and I was a retail stockbroker, right? I was the guy who got on the phone, the churn them and burn them type mentality, Wolf of Wall Street. I didn't churn them and burn them, but I also, I'm pleased to say, I had an 18-year career with no marks on my license. So I did business the right way. However, it was a high volume transactional business. It was lots of, hell yeah, buddy, run DMC in the place. It's St. Paddy's Day, son. Come on. All of the parades were canceled, which was unfortunate. But you know, that's the world we're in right now. So I actually brought my daughters to my parents' house. My mom won Miss Irish America. She was the first Miss Irish America. So fortunately, both my parents are still alive and kicking. So we drove over there, and on the sidewalk, I had my girls do the Irish jig and all that kind of stuff for them. So that was cool. We did our own parade, and that's on, I think I created content and posted that on Facebook earlier. Nonetheless, let's get back to business here, right? So there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of uncertainty. I get it. And it's very easy to be paralyzed by the fear and uncertainty. So I'm not an expert on any of those subjects. I just know that there are a lot of things that can be controlled on a day-to-day basis, which will set you up for wins as we move forward with more certainty, right? So anyway, this is my story. Going back to 2007, 2008, the financial crisis. So I had my business was set up in a way where I would operate what I called a mini mutual fund. It was not a mini mutual fund. It was me using the best research that I had out there. I would build positions in companies. I would let the winners run. I would cut the losers off to the 50-day moving average. And that approach, that discipline was very effective for me, making money for my clients. And I was a transactional guy. So I'm charging when I buy and sell. And if I'm not able to outperform the market at a high level, I'm going to burn up those clients' equity. I'm going to lose those clients. And because of that, I would find myself in a rotation where it was possible for the market risk to just, no matter how good I thought my research was, when the tide rises, all boats raise, and when the tide goes out, all boats lower. And that's what happened to me. So prior to the financial crisis, I basically blew up my book of business because I was overweight in biotech companies. And I share that because I was essentially blown up, out of business. Although I wasn't totally out of business. The core holdings that I had built positions in had all been decimated by the market. Again, this is before the financial crisis. So I was sitting there kind of licking my wounds, not really sure what I wanted to do or how I was going to do it. But I had just joined a new firm. And so I was excited that I had joined this new firm. There were about 100 brokers that were in this firm. And when I walked in there, I was just pumped by the excitement of having all these people that I could compete with. And so literally, it was only a few weeks from when I joined to when the financial crisis started to happen. And I would come into the office. Prior to that, my mindset was I was going to open an account a day. I was going to make 500 dials a day. I think at that point, I was actually trying to do 1,000 dials a day, but I was just religiously disciplined to hitting internal metrics that I had created because I was going to explode my business and I was a man on a mission. And then the financial crisis happened. So I'm sitting in this office of 100. When I first came in, the temperature of that boardroom, the culture of that boardroom, it was so exciting to work there. These guys are all just ripping big trades, ripping new accounts, making money hand over fist for themselves and their clients. And I came in there with a zero book of business, essentially. It's not exactly zero. But I'm sharing that because I was just 100% locked into I will open an account a day, period. That was my mission. An account a day, period. An account a day keeps bankruptcy away. And that was my whole thought process while I was there. And so that's what I did. Every single day, I opened an account over the phone with a stranger who sent me money to invest in the stock market. And then the financial crisis happened. And I was fortunate because I didn't have many positions on the table for my clients. And so everybody I was talking to, I hadn't lost money for. I was the new guy. And I capitalized on that in such a massive fashion. While I watched I watched the entire psychology of this testosterone fueled, savage group of top producing brokers, and everybody in there was making a fortune the right way, legally, all that stuff. But these guys were just getting blown up left and right, margin calls left and right. The market's getting decimated, which again, I recognize is happening now. And I'm still friends with some of those people who now all want to get into real estate, but that's a different story for a different day. Nonetheless, I'm sharing this because it comes down to mindset, right? So I'm watching the market implode. I'm watching people who went from swashbuckling ass kickers on the phone to just they were all turned into a bunch of bitches and they were afraid to pick up the phone. So while they were afraid to pick up the phone, I picked up the phone and I opened an account every day. Now, how does that translate into what we're talking about now? Because it's the exact same principle. It's the 100% same thing. There is going to be a tremendous amount of fear out there in the market. There's going to be a tremendous amount of uncertainty out there in the market. If you're able to, now again, there's a time and place, and obviously you want to have the right tone. Getting on the phone right now or doing social media posts talking about, interest rates are at an all-time low, let's buy houses right now, probably isn't the right tone to approach your sphere. But you can, so don't do that. But here's what you can do. You can reach out to every single one of your clients today and assure them that everything is going to be okay and that you're there to help them. You're there to help them in any way possible. Is there anything that you can do to help support them, their families, their business, whatever that might be? And come from a place of service. Mean it. Like, what can I do to help? Is there anything in the world, and this is a Ricky Carruth line, but is there anything in the world I can do to help you or your family, help support you or your family right now in this time of crisis? And maybe you can, maybe you can't, but you'll re-engage your sphere of influence. So for me today, it's St. Patrick's Day. It's real easy and in case you can't tell with the red hair, freckles, and the green jumpsuit, I'm Irish. So it is totally authentic and right for me to reach out to every single person. How many people are in this phone? I don't know, a lot. Every single person in this Who sent me? Whatever. Every single person in my database and wish him a happy St. Patrick's Day. Man, it's really scary what's going on there with the coronavirus. Is there anything in the world I can do to help support you or your family in any way, shape, or form? If you do that through, and then while you've got them on the phone, hey, I just wanted to ensure I had all the right contact information in the event we ever need to get in touch. So then reconfirm their contact information, reconfirm their email address. While you're on the phone, look, I know this probably doesn't apply to you now, but in the future, if you or anyone you know is even thinking about doing anything as far as real estate concerns, would I be your number one referral? Would I be top of mind for you to refer business to? It's not inappropriate to ask that question. It's the right thing for you to do. And you can tailor that to be whatever language you want it to be, but go out there and connect with people. Go out there. The market is going to shrink. We're definitely going at, look, I'm not an economist. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not the president. There's lots of things I'm not, but I do know that the odds of us going, first of all, we're not going to even know we're into a recession until it's probably over. But the truth of the matter is 2 quarters of negative growth, that's a recession. Are we going into one? Fuck yeah. Okay, so we're going into a recession. Big deal. That doesn't mean real estate business stops happening. Business will continue to happen every single day, period, with or without you. So what are you going to do to ensure that your sphere, your family, your friends, your clients, your whoever knows that you are a true professional and you're there to be a valuable resource in the time of need, which is where we're at right now. Let them know that. Reassure them. Get your arms around them, give them a big hug, and wish them the best. Support people now, and they will come back and support you down the road. So go out there. Do not be afraid. Well, I don't believe in fear. Put together a plan of action. If something is afraid of you, then figure out, or there's something you're afraid of, figure it out, isolate it, and work on it. But picking up the phone should not be the thing, because this thing right now is going to make you $1 million over the next couple of years. The market is absolutely going to get constricted. There's 40,000 agents in Palm Beach County. There's not going to be 40,000 agents in Palm Beach County next year because half of them are chicken shit and they won't pick up the phone and they're afraid to market. So don't let that be you. Go out there, connect with as many people as you possibly can. Let them know that you're there to help, support, and serve them, and your business will 100% grow. You don't need to pound them into an appointment today, obviously, but you can support them in this time of need. All right, hopefully that made sense. Now push that to the side for a second. Business is still happening. So like, for example, yesterday, thanks, George. Yesterday, I had a listing appointment with a stranger who had responded to one of my send-out cards, and I've talked to him a couple times over the last few weeks. They're interviewing all kinds of people, whatever. But the world's changed over the last few days. People don't want to meet me. They don't want to, nobody wants to be in front of a stranger right now. So it was a really easy pivot. Hey, would it offend you if instead of me coming to your house at 3 o'clock, we just did a Zoom conference call and I can show you exactly how we find the one buyer on planet Earth willing to pay more than anybody else? She was like, oh my gosh, that's great. I was so apprehensive of meeting with you. Solve the problems. There's lots of technology out there that will allow you to conduct buyer consultations, seller every consultation over the computer. So do that. Leverage technology today. Getting in front of somebody, door knocking, I still think the phone is highly effective, but you can conduct these appointments. In fact, I'm now rolling out what I call a full concierge service that's 100% without human interaction if we don't need to. So all I need is somebody's permission to sign on the line that is dotted for me to actually get the deal done. I don't need to meet with anybody ever. I don't, at least not in person. Obviously I've got to meet with them over the computer, whatever the case is, but you don't have to do it in person. So leverage that technology. If you don't know what that technology is, if you don't know how to do it, feel free to shoot me a instant message or just Google it. It's out there. It's not like it's a big secret. Do a Zoom conference call. That is what I'm doing. So go out there. Do not be, the only thing that I would be afraid of is not taking action every single day. So figure out what your game plan is. Take massive action in this time of uncertainty. Connect with people at a high level, and your business will absolutely grow. Is it going to pause? Yes. Is it going to slow down? Yes. Sometimes you got to take a step backwards to take a large leap forward, and that's exactly what this is going to be for me. So there is nothing to fear but fear itself. Obviously, you've got to be prudent. You've got to be precautious for yourself, for your family, and for your clients. But although all those things are controllable, so make sure part of your pitch to people is in this concierge service that you're wearing the masks. You've got the what the hell is this? Well, this is an ice cream cone. This is my daughter's hand sanitizer. You're taking all the safety precautions necessary to ensure that your buyer or seller or whoever is totally protected, and you're 100% on top of controlling the controllables. But be proactive. Don't be reactive. And more importantly, be consistent, be aggressive, and go out there, win the day every single day. Go out there, get some, and that's it for my rant. So I've been a little bit inconsistent as it relates to putting content out here in both of these groups. I recently was told not to talk for 30 days due to severe laryngitis, and probably not going to be able to do that either. But nonetheless, now is the time, right? So I don't know that I'll be as consistent with content in the near term, because I do have to take my doctor's advice, talk less, take the medicine, go through that course of treatment. But that doesn't, to be clear, even though I'm not supposed to talk, I'm talking to you guys, I'm still going to make those calls. I'm still going to send those texts. I'm still going to send those videos. I'm still going to send those emails. I'm going to do everything I can to ensure that my business does not slow down. In fact, it will thrive. I will end up gaining more market share as the market worsens, as people drop out of the business, whatever the case is. But it's massive action. It's consistency. It's winning the day. It's stealing your mind. Your mind is a trap. Steal it, right? Get it to be 100% bulletproof, and let's go out there and win the day. So that's it. If there's anything I can do to help, as always, we are constantly helping buyers from around the country and around the world buy homes here in South Florida. We service all of South Florida, from Jupiter down to Miami and everything in between. So if you or anyone you know is even thinking about moving to South Florida, we'd absolutely love to help. We will take phenomenally good care of them. We will pay you a FAT referral if that's applicable. And we'll get them exactly what they want. And to put that into terms that are useful, because everybody says they do that, in our last 19 buyer representations, we created forced savings by negotiating over $500,000 off the list price for our clients. So we're going to get them the best deal. We're going to get them exactly what they want. We're going to pay you a FAT referral, and we're going to be very grateful in the process. So that's all. Hopefully it helped. Go out there, kick some ass, take some names, but be gentle in your approach. Be prudent, be responsible, get some.